Let's make a two-toned beanie hat on my Addi knitting machine. So I'm using two different colors. I'm using a gray and kind of an off-white, and this is the Impeccable yarn. Let's start with the gray. I am going to cast on. I'm not showing you how to cast on in this video. I'm just creating a quick hat. I'm going to be knitting 40 rows. I'm going to switch my color here. So now I'm going to go to the off-white color. Making sure to take my time the first round, make sure I don't have any dropped stitches. And then once I make my first round, I loosely tie the two together just so it doesn't come undone. At this point, I am going to do 50 rows. As the tube gets longer, I just pull up the length, and that just helps to weigh down the hat on the inside. I am now switching back to the gray. Making sure I don't have any dropped stitches. It looked a little funky there for a minute, so I was just double checking. Tying my two ends together loosely. And I'm going to finish this hat with 40 more rows. Now I've gotten messages asking me the power adapter that I'm using. I do have a separate video on a review that I did on this, and you can go and check that out, and then you can find the links to where to purchase it. It's a game changer. I have shoulder issues, so this is very helpful when I have a craft show coming up and I need to get some hats done. It's extremely amazing. Okay, so I'm finishing up my hat here, and I'm just putting on the end of the gray that I just finished the 40 rows on, and now I'm going to be casting off. So you just have to carefully go one by one, so you do not need waste yarn. If you prefer waste yarn to take your hat off, you can do it that way. I prefer to just do this. I suggest taking your time, just doing one loop at a time, and as you get more comfortable, you get a little bit faster, and then you can speed through getting your loops off. You don't want to miss a loop, and you don't want to pull off the next loop. So I always pull the yarn toward me. I don't pull it straight up or away from me. Otherwise, you're going to get drop stitches, and those are not fun. I've removed my Addi machine. I have my tube here. I'm just going to open it and stretch it out and get some shape back into it. These are the two ends I had tied together while I was doing my rows. So here I'm just doing another knot to secure it. These are going to be on the inside of the hat, so you're not going to see the strings. I'm just folding my hat in half. Molding it, continuing to stretch it out. Take the inside layer, grab your yarn, and you're going to gently pull and close the top of the hat. This is the butt of the hat. Don't pull too tightly. You do not want to break the yarn. I have done that in the past. I always like to just secure it with a quick knot here. Now we're going to do the same thing for the outer layer. Again, being careful not to pull too hard. You don't want to break the yarn, and you just want to evert the edges or invert and get it nice and together, and this will complete the butt of the hat. I put a quick knot here. Time for a pom-pom. I like the pom-poms with the little elastic on the end of it. So you just have to secure it to the top of your hat. There are different ways to do this. Some people like to use a button on the underside. I don't feel a need for it. And then you just want to make sure you go through, and you don't have to do too many ties here, but you just want to make sure the pom-pom is nice and secure on the hat. I'm adding a tag to my hat. I have a link in my description of where I order mine from Etsy. And there you go, your hat is complete. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe.